So the aftermath of the fire. So part 4 of the fire. We'd found out it burnt, the next morning we found out it burnt 34,000 acres of land, all from south of Elwood till about a mile north of Edison. And I'll show the burn scar here in a minute. So there were a whole bunch of hot spots and stuff. Edison was under evacuation order still, so this was the morning of the 8th. Yeah. So we were having, at the end of the night, there were 27 fire crews from across Nebraska and a couple from Kansas that were helping with this fire. There were ones from Shattern, McPherson County, North Platte, and we had the Nebraska Forest Service and National Guard out here. So I don't think I counted those two, but so it'd be like 29 crews. And each of them had sent multiple rigs. There were so many grass rigs and tankers, and I'll show another picture of those here in a second. But yeah, those were like 3, 4, 5 hours away. All came out to help with this fire. The National Guard had actually sent out land crews to help out, and then they had sent 2 helicopters. So they were all carrying like 600-gallon buckets of water. They were dropping it from the air onto hot spots and stuff, which had been still north of town. Yeah, they were taking, so where I go fish, where I had done the video on the deer skull and fishing a couple of videos back, they were taking water out of that pit and they were taking it north. But the part of the creek bed had burnt, or not the creek bed, riverbed, Republican River had burnt. And it was really weird to see. So here's a couple more videos, pictures. That was the day of the fire from my friend's house. That's how many vehicles were there. This is the day after. So all those crews and stuff. Whoa, that was really bad. But yeah, it's like 3 blocks of just people out there. Or tankers. I think those guys, the white trucks, were from like Shattern. I think that was, oh, that might have been National Guard. I don't know. Helicopter north of town, or helicopter flying in. It wasn't north of town. Oh, there's a National Guard truck. Sorry, my phone had bad quality. So there's March 31st, before the burn. That's the burn scar afterwards. So, started up here. Elwood is right there. Started about here and burnt all the way down to Edison right here. So it was close. Very, very close. And it was crazy to see all these people come together and... Sorry, I'm gonna check the time again. Yeah. School had been canceled. We didn't have school that Friday. Or, I don't know if we had it that Monday either. Yeah. And all those crews stayed for like 2 or 3 days. I mean, depending on how far out they were. But they still stayed out for 2 to 3 days to help out with hot spots, putting them out and stuff. There had been a couple buying pillows and stuff at Dollar General to stay the night. It was, I don't know where they all stayed. Oh, I guess we have like 2 hotels in town, so I bet they stayed there. Yeah, and then a couple days afterwards, we helped as a, I don't know, community service kind of thing, helped clean out some of the vehicles. So we cleaned out Cambridge's grass rigs, and it was just caked in dirt and soot and corn husks and stuff. We'd found a burnt corn cob, but there's so much stuff. Fire didn't get contained until like a week and a half later, I think, is when they declared it fully contained. And I'd gone to practice in Elwood. Very dumb idea. A couple times. I'll get to that in a second, though. First time I went up there, it wasn't too bad. I'd just seen the burn scar, and it was crazy, thinking that it was all on fire. I'd actually, yeah, I drove by my friend's house, and it was smoldering because it had been burnt down. But yeah, that's pretty much the crazy thing of the fire and everything. So the next 2 weeks later, I went to another baseball practice in Eustis, and I had to drive again through the burn scar. And there was so much dust blowing from all the, I don't know, it was still super windy, and then everything was burnt, so there was no vegetation holding any of the dirt down. And I was driving through, and I was talking to one of my friends. He was coming up behind me. He turned around because he couldn't see, nor could I. I could only see like the car in front of me. I could see the back of the headlights. That's it. I was going through dust for about 12 miles. And yeah, we were going about 45 all time through. It was a very, very dumb idea, because trucks coming on both sides, or one side of me. Couldn't see the ditch. Sorry. Couldn't see the ditch, couldn't see in front of me. Yeah. Why I went through there, I don't know. I went up through that like 3 times. But that was the worst. Yeah. I should have turned around. It's okay though, I'm still here. Because then I had to turn back and go around it again the next time. And then 2 weeks later, on the 21st, there was another fire in Cambridge. Started south of Cambridge by Wilsonville, and it burned a whole bunch. So I can do a separate video on that, but I'll probably do that later. So thank you for watching. If you watched this far, I really appreciate it, because I don't know, I just do. Thank you. So please consider subscribing, and I would like to know what I'm doing good. If I'm doing anything well, please let me know. I'd love to do some comments and stuff. So please consider subscribing so you can watch all the rest of my stuff. So thank you.